Let's start here, though, for this half hour. News over the weekend of a potential breakthrough in peace talks with Iran was quickly followed by criticism from lawmakers, including Republicans, over the terms of what seemed to be an emerging deal to end the war. CBS News congressional reporter Taureen Small breaks down what we're hearing.
There's this trepidation around celebrating this outright because of the murkiness of the details of this potential deal. Just to set the stage here, there's been a lot of Republicans coming forward saying that this cannot look like the Obama-era Iran nuclear deal, the JCPOA. And what's unclear is whether or not this includes hardline stances or concessions regarding the stockpile of enriched uranium and the capabilities of Iran to secure a nuclear weapon moving forward. That was a major sticking point under this military operation under this second term of Donald Trump. So whether or not he could successfully secure those concessions would be really the tipping point of whether or not he would receive broader support from his own party.
For more on this, let's bring in retired Navy Vice Admiral Robert Murrett. He's also a professor at Syracuse University. Great to have you on with us. You know, it's sort of been this deal, no deal, deal, no deal, back and forth. We've been close to agreements before, but haven't quite got there. Does this time feel any different to you?
Yes, no, great question. I think this one does feel a little bit different. It looks more serious. And of course, you have to have some expectation management anytime you're negotiating with the Iranians. I think, the arrival today of a very senior delegation in Qatar to follow up on the intermediary work that the Qataris have been doing, as well as Pakistan, but their foreign minister, the speaker of their parliament, and interestingly, their central bank chief all arrived in Qatar earlier today to hopefully finalize some negotiations. And so we'll keep our fingers crossed and see what's happened in the next few days.
What do you think are the sticking points here when we think about the way these negotiations have been ongoing the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, I think the sticking points, I mean, the big picture, according to all the press reporting we've seen, as you know, Chanel, is to open up the Straits of Hormuz and to stop the blockade that the United States has implemented on the Iranians. That seems to be the short-term goal. There seems to be some sort of sense that we can use as phase two of the negotiations, looking after the nuclear issue, which of course is at the heart of most of the concerns that people on many sides have, and then perhaps look at some other issues to be in there. The one that's mentioned most frequently, as you know, are the frozen Iranian assets, the $25 billion or so, and also some sanctions relief for Iran.
And now, if the two sides do reach a deal, how long do you think the U.S. will keep its military presence on the ground there in the region?
Yeah, Chanel, on the ground and on the high seas, and of course our air assets that are all the bases. I think they'll need to stay there and fairly robust numbers for the foreseeable future until the final deal is realized in 30 or 60 days, depending upon which time frame you hear. But also just because of the key stakeholders that we have, I think a lot of that will be reassurance because, Chanel, in any one of these deals, as President Lincoln said, you can't keep all the people happy all the time. There's going to be some people that are unhappy with whatever deal is struck, no matter what the final arrangements look like. I think reassuring our Gulf allies and some of the other key stakeholders will be key. And for that reason, I think there'll need to be a fairly robust military presence, air, ground, and sea in the Middle East. Perhaps a slight drawdown, but nothing significant in the near future.
Okay, retired Navy Vice Admiral Robert Murrett, thank you.